All right, folks, how you doing? Russell, TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Put in the healing back in health. Follow my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Links down below in description land. All right, True Crew, trying to give you a better point of view or another way to look at money and time, right? We've got to understand these things, money and time. I've always heard somebody say, or you always hear people say, time is money, right? Time is money. And to a certain extent it is. Time is money. If you're using your time wisely, you can make money, right? So I understand why, people say, oh, you shouldn't change your own oil. Time is money. But in reality, it takes, if you're not using that time correctly during that oil change process when someone else is providing that service, if you're not using that, if you're just using it to scroll through Facebook, scroll through Twitter, well then in reality, that time is not being used in a productive way that could possibly make money in the future, right? So we've got to be able to make sure that we understand that concept first. And then from there, I'd like to say it's not time is money, it's money is time, right? You've got to understand that. It's kind of like that movie with Justin Timberlake, In Time or something, right? Where they're paying you in they're paying you in time. And it's kind of along those lines. So let's pretend, I'm just going to try to make things easier for me. You make $10 an hour at your job. I'm just using $10 an hour because my mental mathematics isn't the greatest. And if I can do it using $10, makes it easier. You might make a little bit more than that, right? Put it this way. You make $10 an hour. If you go out and you buy something for $100, that means you just worked 10 hours to purchase whatever that is. So let's say it's just a pair of shoes. You spent $100. Well, is that worth 10 hours of your time that you worked in reality, right? That's what we've got to start seeing money as. You go out to breakfast with your loved one, dinner for two and some drinks is going to cost you $50. Is that really worth 5 hours of your life? Did you use that money correctly? Right? Did you use that money correctly? That's what we've got to understand. Money is time. You wasted or you used time in the past to get that money. Are you using that money in the future in a way that is bringing positivity into your life? Health, wealth, spiritual being, whatever it is, right? Mind, body, spiritual health, and fitness. Are you using that money correctly? That's the biggest thing you've got to understand. That's how we've got to start looking at money. To where money, are you using it correctly? Look at it in that different perspective. They just want to say, oh, it's $100. Buy it. But it used to be $150, right? We've got to understand when they're giving you these discounts, supposedly, it's already raised so high that when they drop the price, it doesn't matter, right? They're going to say, oh, 20% off, when in reality, 4 months ago, they raised the price 20%. So once again, I think if we can look at money in that sense is, did I work hard enough? Did the time I use, is it now worth using that money on that? I think we've got to understand as well that saving this money and using it properly is a better way, right? It's like my uncle now, who his wife's parents are older, they're sick, whatever, they're needing money, and he's able to use that money to help them buy their new bed, buy their new this, buy their new that, because they might not have enough money. I think we've got to see money in that sense as well, right? That if you don't spend it now, in a way you can use that money to help someone in the future. And it might not just be you, right? Do you really need that other pair of shoes when you've already got 40? Do you really need every color of shoe to match every single outfit that you have? Right? It just doesn't make sense to me. When in reality, if you save that money, it's something that you can help further down the road. If someone needs an emergency plane ride to go here, to go there, a bus fare, the Greyhound bus to go here or there. In reality, you can save that money and help someone down the line. So in reality, like I said, just if you truly decide to look at money in a way of, do I really want to say that those last 5 hours of work that were hell to pay 2 weeks ago when my pay period came up, is it really worth a dinner? right? Is that $50 really worth a dinner? That's what you've got to understand. That's what we've got to start looking at, right? If you buy something for $500, right? That right there would be 50 hours if you're working 10, if my math is correct, right? So that means it was my last week of pay really worth this bicycle? Really worth this? Really worth that? And that's how we've got to start looking at things. And if you look at that, you'll have a complete understanding of money. You'll have a better appreciation for money. I've said it before in another video, why you feel unappreciated at work. I think, yes, research shows, that if your employer said thank you more, this or that, you would be more appreciative at work. You would feel more appreciative at work. But in reality, I think the reason why we don't feel appreciated at work more is because we get that paycheck, we squander it away on a bunch of crap, and then we realize that, dang, we just spent all that money. At times we didn't want to be at work, we felt miserable at work, we spent money on something, we bought something, and in reality it didn't bring any pleasure to our life. So it seems like we're working for no reason because we're not getting any pleasure out of the paycheck that we are purchasing, right? Versus if you're able to save that money, not blow it on yourself on something dumb, you can buy a gift for someone, right? It's better to give than receive. Using that money in a more positive way that's going to bring more positive energy, more love, more appreciation to you as a human being. It's not that we don't feel appreciated at work. It's that in reality, we're not using our money in a way that brings gratification to us. So it just seems like the job is doing nothing for us. So once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Links down below. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.